You guys, if you're in a toxic relationship, if you're in an abusive relationship, you need to leave. You need to leave that shit ASAP, man. All right. I've been talking to a few people. You know, I've been getting comments, direct messages, and I've even got some friends who are in, you know, what I would like to label as toxic relationships. You know, abusive relationships, and I've even been in toxic and abusive relationships myself. I'm not proud of it, but yeah, that's just the fact of the matter. So I want to go through it, and pretty much just like give you guys some value on how to spot a person who's toxic, how to figure out if you're in a toxic relationship or if you're in an abusive relationship, and then what to do, right? How to get out of it, right? Because I know that oftentimes it can be difficult or it can be, you know, it's just a challenge to kind of leave that situation, and that's kind of a complex subject. So let me get into it, guys. First things first, man. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video at some point. Comment below what you want to know and hit the post notification bell. Now, two people should never get together if they need each other in a sense where they're not two whole people, right? So what happens a lot of times is somebody's in pain or somebody feels incomplete or lonely or depressed and shit like this. So they seek happiness or validation, or security or comfort in somebody else, right? That is the first sign of basically codependency, right? You see, when you get into a relationship or you start dating somebody, you want to be whole as a person yourself. You want to be a whole individual. You want to love yourself, and you want to go into it with pure intentions, right? And what happens again a lot of times is people get together just to kind of fill a void, and they don't actually care about the other person the way they pretend to. So, perfect example of what a toxic relationship looks like is two people who really don't open up with each other, and they're just kind of exchanging superficial things, compliments, sex, gifts, but they don't really go in depth and try to build each other up on a spiritual, personal level, right? So if it's very superficial, it's probably toxic because a real relationship is built off of real connection. So if you don't have an actual connection with somebody and you're again just doing superficial shit like having sex, giving gifts, going places, there's a good chance that the relationship just won't last. And it's built off of again like material bullshit or just like lust, and that's not anything that's scalable, right? It's not anything that you can count on for the future. So going further into what does a toxic relationship look like, obviously if you guys are arguing, right, if you guys are literally like fighting back and forth, raising each other's your voices, and you're swearing at each other, cursing each other, calling each other names, bringing each other down, insulting each other, like playing little mind games and mind tricks, all of that is toxic. All of that is toxic. A lot of you think that shit is normal. Oh, we're in a relationship, we fight, we argue, we bicker, we fuck, we make up. Nah, bro, there's levels to this shit, and as a man you should never be arguing with a woman. Honestly, you shouldn't even be arguing. We don't argue with women, dude. And if you're going to argue, make your point and do it in a very calm, cool, collected way. Don't raise your voice. Don't get emotional. Because that's when you lose your masculine frame. That's when you lose the power, believe it or not. A lot of you think that's how you gain the power, but that's when you lose the power. It might look like you got it and you won it in that circumstance, but your woman low key will resent you for that. Just like if she starts yelling at you out of fucking line, out of character, you're gonna resent her for that too, right? So it goes both ways in the relationship, guys. So again, make sure you're not arguing with the woman. Make sure you're not fighting. Make sure you're not insulting each other. Make sure you're not playing mind games and patronizing each other and trying to just play like games, like power games and shit like that. That's not what a real relationship is built on, or how it should function. Again, it should be two whole people that come together to literally help each other become better versions of themselves. That's what the whole point is. All right. And now, another way to tell if you're in a toxic relationship is to pretty much look at it, and look at the reality of it. Do you guys have trust issues? Do you lie? Has there been evidence of lies or truth truths that have not been, admitted, right? Do you guys have open, honest communication? If not, that's toxic, man. That's not good. How can you spend your time in your relationship, your energy, and support somebody, especially if you live with somebody? If you're one of these purple pill guys, and you live with a woman, which I have. I've lived with a girl. I live with a woman, and yeah, dude. If you're doing that, bro, and you can't even trust the person that you live with, right? And you're lying to the person you live with, you fall asleep next to and wake up to, that is toxic as fuck, yo. That is the worst thing possible. How do you live again? How do you live with somebody? Spend your space, share your space with them, but you're not even honest with them up front. So you're just living a whole fucking lie. I know that it happens because I was in the situation before. I've been there. I can honestly say I've been there. It's not cool, man. It sucks. And the problem with toxic relationships is you fool yourself. You're lying to yourself. You're like, damn, okay, maybe it'll get better. You're trying to change the other person. You're trying to change yourself. You think maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm the fucked up one, right? A lot of times it's a two-way street. Both of you are probably doing something wrong. If it's all her or if it's all you or whatever, if you're just in your abusive relationship and you're not doing the abuse, or if you're just the victim, like regardless, there should be harmony in the relationship. Regardless, there should be harmony in the relationship. So again, two people come together, they should be working in harmony and in peace with each other. There should be no drama that makes you feel like less of a person, right? That makes you feel insecure. That makes you feel like less of a man, right? Or even think insecure thoughts, or think of yourself less of a man, right? Nothing. You should never be in a situation with a woman and then have that woman affect the way you're thinking about the future and your circumstances, man. That's toxic. She's that's poison, man. You got to watch out for the women like that. The sirens, man. They sound good, they look good, right? But watch out, bro. Especially if you're just getting started with these women. If you're just getting started with the dating game, dude, watch out, man. Because not all these women have like the best intentions in mind for you. So really know who you're dealing with, know who you're talking to, know what her intentions are. And just watch out for the signs. If she's got